Hong Kong, a city of dazzling skyscrapers, a global financial hub, a place where East meets West in a vibrant, futuristic dance. But beneath the neon glow and the concrete canyons lies a story much, much older. A story etched in stone, buried in the earth and whispered by the tides. A story that begins not with skyscrapers, but with mountains, coastlines, and the quiet resilience of its earliest people. Long before this harbor became a gateway to the world, it was home. Let's journey back in time, peeling back the layers of history to uncover the ancient soul of Hong Kong. Our story begins over 6,000 years ago, in the Neolithic age. Forget the bustling streets of Mong Kok. Picture instead a landscape of lush, untamed wilderness. Early inhabitants, our distant ancestors, navigated these very hills and shores. What did they leave behind? At archaeological sites like 𝐀𝐬𝐢𝐚'𝐬, fragments of their lives have been unearthed. Look at this, finely crafted stone tools. These weren't just rocks. They were adzes for shaping wood, rings for adornment, and arrowheads for hunting. They were the technology of their time, essential for survival. And then there's the pottery. Coarse, sand-tempered pots, some decorated with simple geometric patterns. Imagine the hands that shaped this clay, the fires that hardened it. These vessels held water, stored food, and perhaps even played a role in rituals we can now only guess at. They tell a story of a settled people who had mastered their environment enough to create not just what was necessary, but what was also beautiful. These weren't just random wanderers. They were communities with culture, skill, and a deep connection to this land. Let's travel forward to one of the most significant discoveries in Hong Kong's archaeology, the Ma Wan burial site. Unearthed during construction work, this site revealed skeletons from the late Neolithic and early Bronze Age, dating back nearly 4,000 years. This wasn't just a random grave. It was an entire community laid to rest. The remains, along with grave goods like pottery and ornaments, give us an unprecedented glimpse into their society. These weren't nomads. They were a settled people with a distinct home. Analysis of the skeletons shows they had a diet rich in marine food. They were fishermen, masters of the sea, their lives intrinsically linked to the rhythm of the tides and the bounty of the ocean. They lived here, they loved here, and they were buried here, in the land they called home. Life for these early settlers was a dance with nature. Picture a small coastal village, nestled in a sheltered bay. Homes, perhaps simple huts made of wood and thatch, stand close to the shore. From the crack of dawn, the community is alive with activity. Men prepare their dugout canoes, checking their nets and fishing lines before heading out to sea. Their understanding of the currents and marine life is passed down through generations. Women tend to small plots of land, cultivating root vegetables like taro and yams, supplementing the seafood-rich diet. Children play on the beach, learning the essential skills of survival by watching their elders. This wasn't an easy life, but it was a life of community, of shared purpose, and of deep respect for the environment that sustained them. They were not just surviving, they were thriving. As we move into the Bronze Age, around 1500 BC, a new chapter unfolds. Hong Kong becomes part of a wider network of cultures. The evidence? Look at the spectacular bronze artifacts found at sites like Lung Yuk Tau and on Lama Island. These weren't locally made. They were likely traded from the powerful states of ancient China. Bronze axes, daggers, and bells. These were prestige items, symbols of power and status. Their presence here tells us that Hong Kong was not an isolated backwater. It was a crucial node on ancient maritime trade routes, a meeting point for different peoples and ideas. Local chieftains were likely trading local resources, perhaps salt or pearls, for these sophisticated metal goods. But perhaps the most mysterious and evocative remnants of this era are the rock carvings found along Hong Kong's coastline. On the island of Cheung Chau, at Big Wave Bay, and in other coastal spots, enigmatic designs are carved into the rocks. Geometric patterns, spirals and shapes that some interpret as stylized animals or human faces. Who carved them, and why? Were they territorial markers, prayers to sea gods for safe voyages and bountiful catches, or astronomical charts tracking the sun and stars? We may never know for certain. But as you stand before them, with the waves crashing just feet away, you can feel the weight of centuries. These carvings are a direct message from the past, a sacred link to the beliefs and worldview of Hong Kong's ancient mariners. They looked at the same sea, the same sky, and felt compelled to leave their mark. Imagine the coastline of Hong Kong thousands of years ago. It wasn't just a pretty landscape, it was a highway. Small boats, known as sampans, and perhaps larger trading junks, moved along the coast, connecting settlements. They hugged the shoreline, navigating from one sheltered bay to the next, trading goods and news. This maritime network connected Hong Kong not only to the mainland, but to the wider South China Sea. Archaeological evidence shows similarities in pottery styles and burial customs with communities in what is now Guangdong, and even further afield. Hong Kong was part of a shared coastal culture, a literal society bound together by the sea. This ancient connectivity, this role as a link between different worlds, is a thread that runs right through Hong Kong's history, from these early mariners to the global port it is today. To truly understand this timeline, let's step into the Hong Kong Museum of History. Here, the story comes alive. Behind protective glass, you can see the actual stone tools we've discussed, their edges still sharp after millennia. You can marvel at the delicate pottery, pieced together from fragments, each crack telling a story. And you can see the stunning bronze weapons, their greenish patina, a testament to the passage of time. Animated maps on display trace the ancient trade routes, showing the flow of goods and people that connected Hong Kong to the great dynasties of early China, like the Shang and the Zhou. These artifacts are not just objects. They are tangible pieces of the past, silent witnesses to the lives of Hong Kong's first inhabitants. They allow us to reach across time and connect with the people who laid the foundations of this remarkable place. So as we look again at the stunning skyline of modern Hong Kong, we see it with new eyes. We see not just steel and glass, but the legacy of thousands of years of human history. The spirit of those ancient fishermen lives on in the city's vibrant seafood markets. The legacy of the traders echoes in the bustling container port, one of the busiest in the world. The resilience of those early settlers is reflected in the indomitable spirit of Hong Kong's people today. The ancient roots of this city run deep. They are a reminder that Hong Kong's identity was not forged in the last 2 centuries, but over millennia. It is a story of adaptation, connection, and a profound relationship with the land and the sea. This ancient heritage is the bedrock upon which the modern metropolis was built. Thank you for joining us on this journey back in time. The story of Hong Kong is constantly being rewritten as new discoveries are made. If you found this exploration of Hong Kong's ancient past fascinating, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into hidden histories. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What part of ancient Hong Kong surprised you the most? Until next time, keep exploring. Before the skyscrapers pierced the clouds, before the neon lights painted the night, there was another Hong Kong. A land whispered about in the mists of time, carved from stone and shaped by the sea. This is the story of its first people, a journey back to the very dawn of this extraordinary place. Look beyond the modern metropolis, and you'll find clues hidden in plain sight, in the misty peaks that cradle the city, in the ancient caves that dot the coastline, and along the very shores where waves have crashed for millennia. This is where our story begins, long before recorded history, in an era we call the Neolithic. Imagine a time over 6,000 years ago. Early settlers, drawn by the bounty of the land and sea, made this their home. Life was a rhythm of creation and survival. Their hands, skilled and patient, chipped away at stone, not just for function, but for form. They crafted tools to hunt, to build, and to shape their world. From the earth itself, they molded clay into pottery, vessels that would hold their food, their water, their very sustenance. The coastline was their lifeline. Picture them, casting nets woven from natural fibers, their silhouettes stark against the rising sun, pulling a living from the generous waters of the South China Sea. This isn't just a story we imagine, it's one we can touch. At archaeological sites like Wong Tung in Shamchang and Shaha in Saigung, the earth has given up its secrets. Each artifact is a word in a long-lost language. Polished jade ornaments, still cool to the touch, speak of a sophisticated sense of beauty and perhaps of status. Fragments of pottery, bearing intricate patterns, tell us of communities that valued artistry as much as utility. And the stone carvings, precise and purposeful, are the signatures of our most distant ancestors, a testament to their ingenuity and resilience. As centuries turned, a new material arrived, one that would change everything: bronze. The Bronze Age dawned in Hong Kong around 1500 BC, ushering in an era of greater power and connection. The tools became sharper, the weapons more formidable, but more importantly, this new technology connected Hong Kong to a much wider world. Animated maps can help us visualize these ancient arteries of trade. Small boats, laden with local goods, navigated the Pearl River Delta, linking the coastal communities of Hong Kong with the powerful dynasties taking shape in mainland China. This was the beginning of Hong Kong's destiny as a vital hub of exchange. The most enigmatic messages from this era are not written in texts, but etched into rock. At Shek on Lantau Island and along the shores of Big Wave Bay, geometric patterns and abstract figures stare out at the sea. What do they mean? Are they maps of the heavens, depictions of powerful gods, or perhaps talismans to protect the seafarers who brave the unpredictable waters? As we trace their glowing forms, we can almost hear the echoes of the rituals and beliefs that inspired them. They are a direct link to the spiritual world of ancient Hong Kong. Let's step into one of their villages. Life was lived in harmony with the tides. Ingenious stilt houses raised above the coastal marshes protected families from the rising waters and crawling creatures. Inside, the air would have been filled with the rhythmic click-clack of looms as women wove fabric from plant fibers. Outside, small plots of land were cultivated, adding vital crops to a diet rich in seafood. The village square, or perhaps